Came up here and we just started baboosh wherever you want it to be. Cover over some of those clouds, only worrying about what the top edge of our little mountain looks like. Slide it off in that direction. It's always better to do it flatter towards the side. Trust me, right? You're like, that doesn't look like a mountain. I know, I ran out of paint. Hang on, we'll come up here a little bit higher, a little bit off to the side, just smushing all this darkness, covering our bit of clouds. Any bit of color back there, we have to get rid of. All right, now this one is just the beginning of the mountain, right? We can make it as big as we want to do just by adding a little bit more paint. Everything can slide down a bit further. But once we're down here into the deep dark, you can't really tell where the mountain stops, right? We've kind of gone through all of our excess color that we brought down. So let's stop there for now. And let's grab a 1-inch brush. We'll take the Paint with Bram 1-inch brush. Looks just like this. Cool little brush, right? Very neat. Awesome little brush. Come up here and then we'll take that brush and just with our pressure, we'll start to decide how we're going to slide our mountain off, right? Maybe it wants to come down this way. Just by pulling in at that angle, now we've had this whole sheet of rock that's shooting off in that direction. Maybe we have a little bit that we'll pull down from back here. Maybe these guys were pretty vertical, right? Only really worried about what the top edge looks like. Nothing else matters up there. A little Metallica for you. Nothing else matters. Just a little bit like that. Maybe straight down, just half of the mountain we're pulling down. Maybe we got to a point and we hit a spot and we came down this way. All right, and as we pull down, that's going to line up with our whole big sheet of rock. And as we start to highlight it, you'll be able to see it a bit better. Off of this side, we're going to take and pull off to the edge, bringing him down, bringing him down, bringing him down, just like that. Right now, we'll have this humongous mountain. It goes about down to here. So from the top down to here is about a foot-long mountain right there. Can I get a foot-long mountain, please, with extra snow? Thank you. Thank you. It used to be a $5 foot-long mountain, but now it's like $19. I don't know what happened. We don't know what happened to the $5 foot-long, but that's like ancient history nowadays. All right, now let's come in and make up some snowy snow. So I'm going to get a bit of my white paint, a bit of the blue paint. We're going to mix those guys up together. All right, and the blue is very powerful, so you don't need a whole lot. You just got to have a little bit, just a little baby bit. Come in there. Now we're going to scrape up a bit of our dark, right? Not the tiniest amount, but not a huge amount either. We're going to come in there and mix it all up. Just dulls it down just a little bit, right? Mix it all the way down to the bottom. Otherwise, there'll be a pile of white down here that you missed. Trust me, it's happened before. Okay, now we come in here. We scrape up a little bit of our mountainous mix, and maybe off the back side, we just start whipping it down, letting the knife grip wherever it wants to grip. Right, and off of our directional pulls and swipes and pressure, we can allow it to grow real far or not very far at all. And this is just the shadowy bits, right? Maybe we had a few little pieces of shadow come down, straight down in there. Very cool. Off of this guy, maybe the shadowing would be off the back, but I guess it wouldn't be a whole lot. So we'll eventually pick up with a bit more white and continue off the back of that side. But as you can see, right down in there, right, that's that little shelf I was talking about, all the way out, right? Like we literally ripped a hole out of the rock. That's what we're talking about, guys. Now, let's come in, make up a little bit more paint, right? So a little bit more white, little tiny little piece of blue down here. We don't need a whole lot of blue. We want it to be whiter than our blue, right? So we have our shadowy mix, and then right next to it, we have our snowy mix. See how one looks very bright white, even though we know it's not. We mixed it with some blue. I just showed you that we did. But we'll come up here, touch, drag. Not trying to cover every bit, not trying to hide every single thing. You know what I mean? You have to show bits of that original deep dark paint. Don't try to cover up all those deep dark colors. Whip that guy down like this. That guy came from the side. Whipped it down over here, same thing, picking it up, jiggle, let her rip, right? Doesn't all have to be the same. Doesn't all have to mix and match and do whatever you think it has to do. Right now, maybe over here we picked up on some of that white with our white snow. We're dragging it down the edge. back in here, we just grabbed a little bit. And if anything, we can turn it into our misty fogginess back here, right? All we have to do, just building excess little bits of mountain. Now, say we have our bit of snowy mix right down in there, going one direction, right? Snow going one direction. We'll go back to my shadowy color, and let's come up into that snow, and then go down the opposite way. That like creates a little ridge right there, right in between. Come off of that guy with a new bit of white. And now all of a sudden we've made a new little ridge in that empty space that was back in there. All right, take a little bit of our white paint, and it come down. I told you that would be a foot-long mountain, didn't I say? Didn't I say it would be? We take this guy, allow him to track all the way back here. Right, way up there. All that light blue snow. It's the shadowy bits. Very cool. Very jaggedy looking mountain. I dig him. Oh, I dig him. Bang. Poof, poof, poof. Lay it over. Rock and roll, guys. That's a cool one right there. If you done ask me, that's pretty neat. A little more jagged bits. Let them roll out the side. Very cool. All right, now, we're going to take our brush, just like this, back and forth between the thing. Doesn't matter if there's a little bit of paint on it. No big deal. Right? Knock you guys over. Come up like that and just start very lightly swiping up in the opposite direction of how we came down, right? And already look at the difference. This one even looks further away because it's more foggy and mysterious, right? Just from that little bit. So let's imagine we had our knife attached to our brush and we were using them simultaneously. If we came down this way with our knife, right, we would go that way with our brush, going from the bottom to the top. So from the top to the bottom with the knife, from the bottom to the top with the brush. Now say we rotated over here and we came down this way with our knife, which we did a few times. Well, we have to take our brush and just ever so lightly, don't even let the brush like barely even contact the canvas, just so friggin' light, right? Same thing over here. We were coming from this side. We're not trying to mush all the details. I'm not trying to drag the paint so far that it covers up all these broken bits. Those are money right there. That's what's going to sell your painting. Are all those little broken bits. And don't worry about all these little things that happen down here either. It's no big deal. No biggie. Right now, we've come to this area over here. I kind of distinctly remember taking my knife, right, and going down this way with it. So which way should I go with my brush? Do I need to go left to right? Or do I need to continue going right to left and cut across all that paint? You guys got to let me know because I forget. I forget in the comments. If you don't tell me, then I'll forget. Do we want to go with the grain like we've been doing and rotate our brush? Or do we want to, you know what I mean? Like continue on with the grain this way and then all of a sudden be going against the grain? Or should we rotate our brush this way and then continue on, softening that little very, very, very small bit of paint? And remember, go check out paintwithjosh.com. And if you like paintwithjosh.com and you're looking to make your own website, my friend at The Crappy Candles, who's probably watching in the comments right now, she made my website, so she can help you out. Contact her, The Crappy Candles, and maybe she can help you fix your website for your small business, right? Very cool. Look at that. This thing is so thick right here, it's going to cast its own shadow. Literally going to cast its own shadows. All right, now we're all set. It's almost like a deep cave way in the back there. I don't know that I want to go back in there. And now that I've seen that there's a cave, why don't we take a little bit and we can do like a couple little icicles hanging from it, right? Not every single piece. A couple little bits hanging down from the top, guys. Woo, that's nice. I like it. Oh, thank you, Josh. Oh, I appreciate it. Thanks, Josh. Oh, man, it's just so cute. I agree. I agree. It's super pretty. Now, I'm going to show you how to add a whole bunch of misty fogginess if you just give me like 2 seconds. Let me take a quick drink right here. Yeah. All right, guys. Now, I get the question all the time. How do you paint the foggy mist at the bottom of your mountain? Well, there's a couple different ways I've done it. And I'll show you one of them right here. You can actually, I might as well use this paint if there's anything left. We can grab a little of our white snowy paint that was on there before and sort of do the same thing that we did to create our our clouds, right? I mean, what is a foggy bank or a misty cloud of fog besides a cloud? You can literally do them the same way. So let's do with a clean, dry brush first, see what it looks like without adding the paint, and then we can always go back. So this is a Paint with Bram 2-inch brush. One of my good buddies, Paint with Bram, sent me this brush, and I love using it. And all we're going to do is tap and create all that mist, right? This is when we're trying to be forceful. We're trying to remove some of the details, right? Not all of them, but we're kind of tapping and then creating just like a typewriter. And then we're going to come back underneath, tap, go down. Back underneath, tap, go down. I'm not using the full brush. Look, there's lots of brush that's uncontacted on the canvas, right? The more snow that you come and tap and then bring down, the brighter it's going to get down here. And as we start to mix it up, just like we did with our clouds, you'll start to see this misty fogginess start to appear, right? So we don't really do it. We let the brush do it. That's how you paint the cloud, paint the misty fog. You just let the brush do it. You see what we're doing? We're hitting it hard enough to bend the bristles almost at a weird degree. They're like an arm. They're sitting there like this, just bent over crazy hard like that, right? And again, same thing. We're flowing with the grain of the mountain. Now that we've turned and we're on this side, should I continue doing the same thing, or should we turn the brush and start tapping in and going like this? Just let me know in the comments. Same thing or turn the brush. That's all you gotta say. Same thing or turn the brush. Let's see, turn. Looks blurred now. Exactly, that's what it is. Turn the brush, turn. Thank you for the follows, guys. I appreciate it. Scrape it. He said scrape. Scrape it. Just scrape the whole thing. Redo it. It's all done. It's all done. All right, let's turn our brush and let's tap into it and start bringing it down just like a clock, right? We started out over here. We're going down just like a clock, right? And then by the time we come over here, we're going to have to start rotating like a clock this way. Can't just do it straight across or vertically. It's got to be done like a minute hand of a clock. And you come up here and you tap it and you work that little bit of snowy, misty color down. Turning the brush again, you can see. Now you got that little bit of foggy mist down there, right?